Dan, you have some splaining to do.
Oh, well, if you're talking about last week missing an episode, I was down and out.
Yeah.
Sick.
You sounded terrible.
Yeah, and I felt terrible, and I probably looked terrible. I was terrible.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's another missed episode we had here. That's like 2 in a month almost, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe. And yet,
Uh-huh.
the world kept turning.
It did. But it wasn't the same. The Wood Hounds weren't here. What I was disappointed in, I mean, your health comes first, okay?
Oh, yeah, naturally.
Yeah, your health comes first. But what I was disappointed in, it was to be our 5-year anniversary, 4-year anniversary.
4. Holy moly.
4.
Yeah.
I told you I'm not good at math. Yeah, on 2/22/22, the Wood Hounds podcast, nicknamed The Deuce, first crackled onto the air of the podcast universe.
Right. We broke through the airwaves. Yeah, 4 years ago. Man.
Yeah. And we were just shooting for 4 episodes.
Yeah. So why are we still here?
Yeah.
what were we thinking? What are we thinking?
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, want to thank everyone for tuning back in to the Wood Hounds podcast. We are the world's largest firewood podcast.
Right. And I think the one thing nice about podcasts is that I at least what I think of is a lot of people have us on when you listen to a podcast regularly, you'll get notified when there's a new episode. So, I know people were aware that we probably missed last week, but I don't think it was like they were sitting there waiting at their podcast feed, all day long, just waiting to see if an episode popped off.
Well, I kind of missed it. I listen to the podcast at least once when it posts, and I find it enjoyable. That Joe and Dan, I mean, I'd like to meet those guys. They're pretty cool people.
Just, yeah, it's something that, just captivates you and puts you in a good mood for the rest of the day or for the rest of your night, or, maybe it puts you to sleep at night. I'm not sure.
Well, I need you in a good mood because I tasked you with a very odd request a couple days ago, and I'm waiting for pictures. You're supposed to send them to me.
I sent you them already.
Yeah, that was off the internet. That didn't count.
I'm like, I was going to reply back that it was past your bedtime and you needed to go to bed. I'm like, What are you doing? Where are you pulling this out of? I'm like, what are you talking about?
When I went to Germany, we were in Berlin, and there's all of these historical things to see. Like Germany has, like, I think behind Italy has like the most historically significant, registered locations. And I wanted to see a parking lot. There was a parking lot there. Because there was this obscure historical event, and I wanted to go stand in the exact same spot where everyone else was at. And my friend from Germany, he's just looking at me, scratching my head. He goes, you got all of these. We have museums with Rembrandts and Vermeer, and and you want to go stand. He want to go stand in a parking lot, he said. Yeah, so I have just some quirky historical interests. And I found that there are 2 very rare houses that are standing in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And I gave Dan the address, and I asked, is this close to you? And he goes, yeah, it's 10 minutes from my house. I says, great. Can you go take a picture of this house? I got to see it. And he sent me a picture. It was a poor attempt. He sent a Google Earth picture that he snapped with his phone off of his screen. And I said, no, it's not what I was wanting, Dan.
Well, you first sent me the street names, and I was like,
Yeah.
I it kind of sounds familiar. I might know where that is. And then you sent me the address because there are. So I'm thinking when you first mentioned historical houses, I was thinking near our downtown area in an area called Water Street. There are some big historical houses that they have. I mean, they're just huge. It's so I'm thinking, well, that's not those streets.
Yeah,
So I
that's not
pulled up
these houses.
I pull up the address on Google Maps and I go to the street view and it's just this little dinky house.
1,000, yeah, 1,000 square foot square house.
Right.
But these are okay. So these are known as lustron houses. What makes these now? There's only 1,500 known to be still in existence in the United States. These houses were made in an airplane hangar in Columbus, Ohio in 1948, and they were sent out over the country. They are made of steel, the entire house. It is porcelain covered steel, the
Ooh.
entire house. If you're on the inside, the walls are steel. You can put magnets on them. The ceiling, the counters, everything in them. They're known as lustron homes. They're very rare. And you got two of them right down the road from your house. So there's one of them here by my place, but whoever owned it put aluminum siding over top, or like vinyl siding,
Oh,
because if you
yep.
look at one of these houses, did you notice that it is these big square panels are the walls, and the shingles are very distinctive looking. And whoever owns this Lustron here in the Mahoning Valley, they put vinyl over top of it, and it would be like owning like a '69 Dodge Daytona and taking the wing off the back of it. It was, gosh, I can't believe someone did that to this house. It's that rare of a house, and they're still out there. And all I asked was a picture of it.
Of the 1,500 remaining, two of them happen to be in Eau Claire.
Yeah, right down
That's
the
kind
road
of
from you.
crazy.
Uh huh. Yeah,
Well,
they are a fascinating story. If you're into quirky history, and like what do they call manufactured houses and
prefab.
stuff, but prefabs. But these were made in a kit, and they got shipped on a trailer, and they were like put up in a couple days, and they're
Wow.
all steel.
Well, that is kind of crazy. The other crazy thing is that being 10 minutes away from me, unfortunately, my range for going to take photos of other houses is 5 minutes away.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll have to see if I can, because 10 minutes is a long ways up here. I mean, that's almost clear
Yeah.
across town.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
I also am not sure if the homeowners see me out on the sidewalk taking a photo of their house, what they might do. So I
Yeah.
might be putting myself at risk here.
Well, a lot of the owners have them registered as historical landmarks, so they might be used to it for people stopping and taking pictures.
Well, is that how you came across the addresses, or how did you find?
There's a website that tracks them, and I was on there and was just looking to see, because like the hometown where my parents came from in West Virginia, there's one in there. I was like, holy cow. It's sitting right behind the AutoZone in Elkins, West Virginia. I was like, gosh, I was like right there. I could have seen it and I didn't know it was there. This is all pre-internet. But now they have trackers where people, have all these houses registered so you can see where they are. There is a street in Albany, New York that has a number of them on it. And like the whole street's been registered as a historical landmark.
Wow.
Really interesting story if you read into the Lustron home. Yeah.
Well,
Made in an airplane hangar in Columbus, Ohio.
I will see if in the next few days if I have some downtime
Yeah.
to take a drive.
In between all that small firewood that you can't keep up with.
That's right. In between all my other duties and everything I got going on, I'll see if I can get a little trip across town.
Yeah. Well, I just don't have the time to do it because all I've been doing is fixing stuff. That's all I do is fix stuff. I've just broken everything and anything that has to do with my firewood business It's broken.
Your business is broken.
Yeah. Well, thank God my bank account isn't broken because I'm needing it to fix everything else that is broken.
What did you break now?
I broke
I know
everything.
you're
Yeah, I broke a windshield. My other truck, the brakes are bad. I broke the grapple for my on the front of my tractor. The clutch pedal's broken. The
Jeez.
Yeah, I broke the oiler. Finally, I just went ahead and replaced the oiler. I spent the weekend working on the 405. I had to fix the cleaner because that rubber flappy thing. The bar and chain, one of the bolts stripped the thread and it's like stuck inside like the threaded hole. And every time I try to put a new bolt in there, it strips. And I replaced the oiler. I got to replace one of the conveyor belts. And what am I missing out here? There was something else. I did a whole video on everything that I own is broken. Oh, the door on my truck. It shuts when it wants to. I'm here to tell you that is a lonely feeling when you are out on the other side of town doing deliveries and you get in your truck and shut it and it won't latch. What do you do?
Put your seatbelt on.
I hope I only turned left the entire way home. Yeah, what do you do when your door won't shut? Gosh.
Jeez. So you really do. You have everything broken.
Everything. Yeah, everything's broke.
That was quite a list. Holy crap.
It was a tough video to do because I didn't know if it was grammatically correct to say if it was broke or if it's broken. Because broke sounds better, but I think broken is proper. And my one English teacher is still living. I can't let her down.
I'm not sure. I think it sounds better to say everything's broken.
Everything's broke.
Or everything's broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how much and you haven't fixed any of, or how much of it has
I
you
have.
fixed?
So I've spent the weekend on the 405. I got to prioritize here. Okay. The windshield is broke, but it isn't getting bigger. It's kind of just sitting there. But I did find a place that will repair it. And actually the price wasn't that expensive. I thought it was going to be, like $1,000, and he quoted me $350. Maybe because it's an like most popular vehicle on the road. I don't know. And the grapple, I can't deal with that right now. And I spent the weekend working on the 405. I replaced the entire oiler on it, which is like a part that you just unbolt and put the new one on. But dealing with these lines, because I got a different line for the infeed. It's like this flexible fish aquarium tubing. And, the connections on the tank and onto the pump, and then the one from the pump to the saw motor. And, oh, gosh. And everything gets coated in oil, and it's spent all day working on that stupid thing.
It sounds like it's one of those 30-minute jobs that the worst part about the 30-minute job is the first 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking I should have filmed this, but there'd have been no way. It would have been, my camera would have looked like I polished it with a candy bar because I just had oil all over everything. I'd touch, all my tools were coated in oil. My phone had oil all over it. Yeah. And then, when I got all put on, you hit the button on there to prime it. You push on this plunger and it wouldn't prime. It wasn't working. I was like, what the heck? And I screwed around with this thing for another hour. And I went ahead and I took everything off because you had to have this pump laying on its back to prime it right. Jeez. So I had it all taken apart again, took all of the lines off, and it's got this big hydraulic fitting that goes on the bottom. I can't get to it. Oh my God. Didn't have the right size wrench, so I was using my metric crescent wrench. Anyhow, I got it all put back together, and before I started priming, I announced an edict to the world that if this pump does not pump, this world-class firewood processor is going to be installed with a gravity-fed oiling system. Because I already had an idea where I could duct tape a bottle to the back of it and just run a hose and just let it drip right onto the chain. That's exactly what I was going to do. Gosh, but it works.
That's good.
Works. Yeah, it works fine.
And the good news is now you know next time, if you ever need to do this again, what to do.
Yeah. Well, all of my problems stem from when I first got it. Something about the fitting and the springs and the hole in the fitting was too big and the spring shot through it. So it quit oiling. Well, I didn't know what I was getting into, and I took the fittings off, and that's when the springs and the BBs shot out of the hole, and I lost them. And then I stepped on top of the one spring and smashed it, and it wouldn't work anymore. So then they sent me the other fittings. I couldn't get the hoses to go on. And it was just one thing after another, and it's always been that way ever since.
Jeez.
What a mess. Yeah.
But you're back to producing firewood.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a flawless run this last time. I stacked it last night.
Well, there you go. All right. So you're back in action. Some things are still broken, but
yeah,
you fix it up.
Yeah. Windshield, door, grapple. Yeah, those are all still broken.
Is the windshield on the same truck as the door, or are they different trucks? Oh, well, that's
the same truck. Yeah,
right.
Same truck. It's that high mileage truck that I bought. It's really been a nice truck. Yeah, it was a home run. You don't know what you're buying when you buy something used. Getting someone else's headache.
Yeah,
but it's been a good truck. Yeah, I can't complain about it. If it blew up today, I would have called it a success. I got my money's worth out of it.
Well, that's good.
I just hope it doesn't blow up.
I was going to say, then you'd really have something broken.
Yeah, really.
Beyond repair.
Yeah. So, Dan, there is something going on in the firewood industry that's happening this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's starting to kick off a whole lineup all year long of some big events. Some firewood expos. The Mid-South Firewood Expo kicks off this weekend.
In Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
March 13th and 14th.
Yeah, it's been put together by our good friend Marlon from Twin Rivers Wood Products. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. I met him and the family at the Paul Bunyan show last year, and I've spoken to him on the phone a couple times. And he's a very nice man, fun to talk to. So we invited Marlon on to the podcast. We were, trying to think about getting something on before the show, but that just didn't work out. So we're looking to get him on the podcast after the show.
Recap.
Yeah, if he still has his sanity, because I know firsthand. Well, you do too, because you organized an event up there in Wisconsin one year, and you said that was it for you.
Yep, one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look for that in an upcoming episode. But we got other recordings going on, but we'll try to make it timely, assuming Dan doesn't catch the funk again.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I know there's a few people going, so if you're one of those Wood Hounds heading out down to Tennessee, enjoy the Mid-South Firewood Expo. And like I said, it looks like it's going to, from everything I've been seeing on Facebook, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that he's pulling together. He's going to have live music Friday night, like a couple bands, I think, coming in. So it's going to be a party.
Yeah. So I kind of know where he lives because we were laughing. I used to live in Memphis, and I'd get on the Interstate 40 in Nashville and go west towards Memphis. And I would always drive by this one exit, and it's a town called Bucksnort, Tennessee. And when he had told me where he lived, I go, "Oh, you live in Bucksnort, Tennessee?" As like my go-to. And he was like, "Oh, it's just up the road from me," he said. So
wow.
People on their way might be driving past the exit to Bucksnort. Make sure you say hi when you drive past.
Bucksnort, Tennessee.
Yeah. If anyone lives in like central to western Tennessee, you always ask about Bucksnort. It's like when you meet someone who's from New Jersey, you're supposed to say, "Oh, really? What exit?" Because that's like, if you live in New Jersey, everyone says what exit they live at.
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh. I
I
learned that
see.
when I worked out east, I learned that. Always try to, when you're in Rome, be like the Romans.
That's right. When in
Yeah.
Rome.
All right. Well, Dan, let's wish everyone well and safe travels to Tennessee if they're going to the big show. Let's hope that they can get some nice weather, but that's usually the case down there in this time of year.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm like, man, that's pretty early in the year. But
yeah, no.
I guess in Tennessee this time of year it's probably good because then it's not going to get too hot.
Yeah, it would be too hot if it was later. And no, they're going to have good weather, and then we'll be scraping our windshields up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, today it's 70 degrees. I just had a delivery this morning. I was in T-shirts and shorts. And then I'm looking at the weather, and we're supposed to have snow on Thursday and Friday.
Nice.
Whiplash season.
Very nice. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, this kind of season where people would say in firewood, we call it mud season. I call it whiplash season and cat pee season because I'm dealing with these cats peeing all over my house now. Gee whiz. I open up my door in the morning and my eyes start watering. I can't even see straight. It stinks so bad. They live out in the forest. They just come out and just to pee on my house and they go back into the woods.
Sounds like a fabulous way to start the day.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Oh, I can't stand that smell.
Oh my. All right. Well, I think did we tell everyone that we appreciate them tuning in to the number one firewood podcast in the world? Did we strike up the band? We didn't strike up the band, did we?
Dan, you were just out of it, man. You've been away too long.
I know. I take a week off and I can't get back in the groove here.
Yeah. Well, let's ask our friend George Gershwin if he can strike up the band.
There it is. Strike up the band. All right.
Uh-huh. And look, you also forgot to say the word hobbyist.
Oh, there's the jingle. All right.
Okay.
JB will be happy.
All right. Well, Dan, let's tell everyone out there, thank you for tuning in and helping make the Wood Hounds the number one firewood podcast in the world.
And catch us hopefully each week on your favorite streaming service. And if you do enjoy the show, give us a 5-star review.
There you go. All right. So everyone out there, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. If there is a ultra rare and historically significant house in your neighborhood, drive out and
send Joe a picture.
Yes. And if you're driving to Tennessee this weekend,
safe travels.
And while you're out there taking pictures of rare houses or visiting the Mid-South Firewood Expo, have
a great day.